So you want to get your models from vehicles from our modeling package to Beam from Beam Drive. But we don't want them to just be some static geometry. We want them to be vehicles, right? At the moment, what we have to do to get the collision is to open our text editor and type in all the values for the low resolution dynamic mesh we want to create. It's not really a mesh, it's a different solution. Okay, so typing the value can be a little complicated on more complex objects, and we probably have something to optimize the way it's created. So I've come to a method. I made a script that hopefully will reduce the complexity of getting this working. So here, let's pretend we have our vehicle here, and we want to make a collision solution for it to work with BeamNG Drive. So let's first create our low poly dummy. This is good enough. Add some divisions to, because we want some detail on the collision, right? So now we just call this the nodes dummy, but it can be any name. It's a geometry that won't be showing, but include. Let me assign a shader so we can see the underlying geometry banner. And okay, now we'll use this to create soft bodies on the dynamics part. Create soft bodies, make soft, great. Okay, now inside nodes dummy we have dummy particles. That is pretty much a particle every vertex of my geometry, right? So let's just show the numbers here, right? So we have already the points part on the nodes parts of the we want, and later I'll show how to transcribe this. And now we want to create strings. Strings is something that we wouldn't be able to do just with traditional geometry, but Maya has an old method really. Nowadays it creates dynamics with volume is much better with enclave, for instance, but it has a legacy system that works with springs, which is very similar to BeamNG Drive approach to dynamics of soft bodies. Right, so I can create strings from some particles, and the way it's created, the problem we couldn't really use just geometry, because sometimes we not only we want to create a beam between 23 and 22, for instance, but we want one between 23 and 26. Even if we were to triangulate this, we would also want one beam from 22 to 27 and one from 22 to 31, and so we have, this is not really friendly to do with geometry polygons tool. So this spring solutions is quite interesting. We can specify some methods to create basic springs, and we can later create them manually. We can delete with some that are unnecessary. So let's first try to create the wireframe. Now it creates just like the wireframe of a geometry would, but no, we want something a little bit better. So let's use wireframe, but wire walk length 2. So that we'll create, let's say from point 15, 15, it will create one to 14, one to 11, another to 19, but it will also go one level further and create from 15 to 23, 15 from to 7, to, 15 to, let's get across at that, to 51, and so on. Just so, just show, let's isolate it to show it better. So you can see it create a little more structure that will be interesting for BeamNG. We can specifically choose sometimes if we want to delete some of the stiffness of a node specifically. We can just delete it, and it will be a little bit more flexible on that part, and then it will be a little bit of more work to think about. Okay, so okay, now we have our geometry, our nodes, and our beams, right? And I believe many packages could offer something similar, but as I use Maya, I used it to create a Beam export, Jbeam export from Maya, right? So all we need to do is get my cube, because it's my vehicle, my visual vehicle, the mesh. Then I will need the nodes and the beams. The nodes are the particles, and the beams are the springs in the case. I set some attributes that we have from the wiki that I could fiddle a little, and okay, I can set it my name and my super fluffy cube is the name of the vehicle. We can also set some presets. It will already fill some settings automatically, basically something more tested, and we can set it manually. Particle weight is something that sometimes we want some nodes to be heavier. We can edit it, properties of our particles manually. We could get here, and Windows General Component Editor, we could set the mass, and this could export together already, right? But let's get the whole all the nodes with the same weight and strength, that flex FLX the setting that's set it to infinite strength, so it doesn't break. We would as it said, most we don't want. Okay, so we have the basics. If you want, we can fine tune. If we don't, we can just get some presets and it will fill. I let it as a string because I don't know if it's intended to create new materials, but the basics as is in metal and so on. So we will write the Jbeam. We have the vehicles folder. We want to create a folder with the name Fluffy Cube, for instance. This is my new vehicle. And track now. We go to vehicles, Fluffy Cube, and name it the same as the folder, Fluffy Cube, and it will save the Jbeam. I'm sorry, I'm not sure. So here is the generated Fluffy Cube. If you drag to a text editor, we have here all the settings we made in the 3D package. Also the basic nodes settings and all the vertices, and already the nodes, the beams connected from point 1 to point 2, point 2 to point 0, point 2 by 2 and so far so on. And there you have it, a lot of data already created without having to fiddle with so much manual labor. And that's the state of it. But the truth is, I still need some help to get this part done. I'm really having trouble with the I don't know the name in English. The header of the file is probably something wrong, because I'm not getting it to work in BeamNG. But I believe this is pretty much the structure said there. I really don't know what's missing there. If you can help with the with the topics I'll post below, that would be a nice step to a visual editor for the Jbeam files of a BeamNG Drive. Okay, thanks, and I hope we can help each other.